Yeah, how's everybody doing? You're here with the Community Connect, and I'm here with my main man Gary, the guy who's responsible for a lot of timeless pieces all over the region and way far beyond its borders. How's it going, my man? How you doing?
It's going good, man. How's it going with you?
Not bad, man. Not bad. I'm just getting ready to get this big piece on me, but
Let's put this down.
I wanted to talk to you a bit about your business, man, because I'm starting a business of my own, so I'm running around talking to people who run businesses
Right.
who might have faced the same problems, same challenges, so it might be easier for me and maybe for somebody else too, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let's start at the beginning. I just wanted to know, how did you get into tattoo? Was it like an art school program or something? Did you ever take arts, or did you just...
I've always been interested in the arts and art. I've always also been interested in tattooing, but no, it was just a teacher of mine in high school that near graduation, recommended it might be something I would be good at. And
So you just hopped on a suggestion and went with it?
yeah, he put me in touch with a local tattoo artist, and yeah, I just went down there, and then we hit it off, and then one thing leads to another. It was about it turns into an apprenticeship, which turns into a few years commitment.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
So
well, I would hope so. I hope somebody gets an apprenticeship before they get to
for sure.
people,
So and I mean, I've seen a lot of people come and go. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I wasn't the only person hired there and given this opportunity, and not everyone looks at it as an opportunity. It's a lot of working. Doing stuff you don't necessarily really want to do, and not getting paid for it.
Mm.
So it's a bit of it's tough sometimes. But the benefit was, or the plus side was, I was young. I could kind of grind out like that.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. Anything worth doing. It
takes work,
it's gonna
right?
take some work. You gotta put in some effort.
Well, now you're on your own, right? Now you don't even work for anybody. This is your own thing, right?
That's right.
So
I
that's-
do my own thing, and we have kind of a collective going on here. We all do our own thing, and all the artists here. That's how a lot of shops are running nowadays, actually. But that being said, yeah, I mean, it's great. I think if you have a certain mentality about you, like kind of like that hustler spirit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's scary no matter what. When you're going into business for yourself, it's scary. But if you got that grind in you, you're gonna make it work.
Sooner or later, you'll figure out a way, right?
You're gonna make it work because you're not gonna let it fail. Like that's the advice I give people that are wanting to venture out on their own, whatever the business might be, not necessarily tattooing. It's that spirit, right? It's that
For sure.
that grind and that drive. If you got that, you're gonna do it. Whether you believe you're gonna do it or not, you know what I mean? You're gonna do it.
Yeah, trust the process and keep going, right?
That's right.
That's a
sure.
good advice, man. And you just mentioned the things that you might not necessarily like to do. How many times has it been that, not necessarily how many times, but has there been times where you turn down tattoos when you're like, I'm not doing that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't do anything that I think is kind of, first of all, I won't do any like hateful racist stuff. I mean, that's
so no
kind
swastikas, right?
well, yeah, yes and no, I guess. You know what I mean? Like no swastikas on like on the wrong people. I've definitely done tattoos of Buddhas that have
when it's
swastika type
okay,
patterns
yeah.
throughout like the robes and stuff like that. But that guy's
That's a good
not.
point.
That guy's not doing that in a
It's
negative
not burning
way.
crosses with a hood on.
You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah. So
But yeah, obviously anything hateful, I don't want to put that out there, and people don't want that. Like as much as you think you want that, you don't really want that. It's a negative thing that you carry with you. I don't like it. Yeah, that's kind of the way I do it. I mean,
That's
if you
pretty
want that
much-
kind of stuff, you could find.
What
something.
about like a gun with a bandana on it?
Yeah, man, I'll do that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
no problem.
Yeah, man, I like certain things. I like a certain kind of style and culture and stuff. But I mean, yeah, I like to have fun with it too. Like you can have, those gangster style tattoos are cool, and you can have fun with those too. You know.
Yeah. No, okay, that's for sure. Talking about the gangster and tattooing gangsters, I know you've been on a set of a legendary movie, right? The Get Rich or Die Trying.
That's right. Yeah,
You were
yeah.
you
I
were
was. There's a small little scene where I'm tattooing, or you know, pretending to tattoo 50 Cent, and yeah, that was pretty cool. I was, you know, that was way back in like '05, you know.
Yeah,
But
but still, that means somebody thought of you like, yo, we gotta get this guy, because that's not a bubblegum production, you know what I mean?
no,
They
it's not a
were.
bubblegum production. I think I just fit the part. You know, I kind of look Latino. They, you know, they're trying to
Oh.
fill, they're trying to fill a like a Mr. Cartoon type role, and I think I just kind of look the part, which is cool. You know, I worked for a studio at the time in Toronto that we were on a Rolodex for stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like if you were gonna cast tattooed people, you called us. You know, and
Hmm.
when they called and said, "Yo, do you guys have?" They were looking for, I think it was a black or a Hispanic tattoo artist, and the girl at the time, the counter girl, said, "Gary's Portuguese, but he does look Spanish." You
Yeah, you
know,
could fit in.
I guess fit
Did
the
you get
part.
did you get to meet any of the G units, or like, I mean,
Just 50. Like Curtis Jackson, we spent about 5 or 6 hours together, just kind of hanging out and shooting, which is kind of I mean,
they spent
it's
5 6 hours shooting that little scene?
yeah, 10 seconds. I'm in the movie like 10 seconds, and it yeah. So I've done the yeah. I don't really enjoy that kind of stuff, man, because when you're filming movies or TV or stuff like that, at least back then, you take a break. It's like, okay, we're going to cut for 10 minutes.
Mm.
And it's like an hour, you know? It's just, I was there for 12 hours. And I'm in
Oh,
the
wow.
movie for maybe like 10 seconds, you know?
Still, you're in a Get Rich or Die Trying movie, though. Like
Yeah.
that's a legendary. You know what I mean? For that time, that's a stamp for that time frame,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure, for sure. The side of my head is like known okay.
With all the climate in the last couple of years, right? We had COVID and everything like that.
Right.
A lot of small businesses shut down.
For sure.
How did you survive that? Did you have? Because I know I've talked to somebody before, and I was told that a lot of business owners were flat out told, if you don't have the finances to keep going for 6 months while you shut down, then you should just shut down now.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm blessed. I think just being fortunate had a lot to do with it, and I'm fortunate in what I do, and I'm fortunate in who my clients are. So here's the deal. I'm a tattoo artist, and you want to get tattooed by me. Awesome. Now, everyone was shut down. Everyone.
Yes.
So it wasn't like I was the only tattoo artist not providing this service, right?
Mm.
So you're one of my longtime clients. You're not going to necessarily get juiced and be like, man, Gary doesn't want a tattoo, blah, blah, blah. I'm going on to the next guy. I mean, I'm sure you could have found tattoo artists to do tattoos during that time.
Mm.
But regardless, this is the case. However, a lot of people found people to cut their hair or their kids' hair,
Yeah.
or they found like they started doing that as an alternative. I used to go to the barbershop every other week or blah blah blah, and then now you're just doing it yourself or getting your girl to do it or vice versa.
Mm.
And I think those businesses really suffer. Restaurants, people used to go out to eat a lot, then people got used to cooking. You know what I'm saying? People that
Yeah.
never cooked before, now they're cooking. And now they're, so now those businesses really took a hit. You're not going to start doing your own tattoos. You know what I mean?
Hope not, man.
I hope not either, man. But even then, on the back end, there's business for me to like fix up tattoos. You know what I'm saying? So I got it covered. But yeah, man. So it's a blessing for someone like myself in the industry that I'm in.
But you still had to wait the period, right?
Of
Being
course.
shut down, so you had to pay the full rent, right?
Yeah.
Did you reach out for any grants, or did you have it stacked?
Yeah, well, a bit of both. A bit
Bit
of
of
both.
both.
I was kind of reluctant to go out for any of the, any of like those subsidizings from the government or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You work for it. You know what I'm saying? So in this case, if it's something that's gonna help, I mean, I didn't want to shut down.
Yeah,
I
of
was
course.
made to shut down, and I was made to shut down 3 separate times. Which, I think so in 2021 when we reopened, which would have been the third time opening for us in 2021 in July, I had only worked a total of 7 weeks out of 7 months of that year.
Wow.
That's a huge impact to anyone's
Well, yeah, you
finances.
got
You know
two
what I
rents,
mean?
right? You have a rent
For sure.
here, you have a rent at home.
Absolutely. So you know it. I mean, again, I was fortunate, and a lot of other people aren't and weren't as fortunate as
Mm.
myself. But yeah, it was definitely a difficult time. It was unprecedented, but hopefully people did
Did
their
the
best.
landlords here, or like, did they let roll with you a little bit? Did you get any sort of break, or
No,
was it full rent at all times, no matter what?
full rent. Same thing with the house. Full rent, no break. And man, I don't know. Maybe I'm a sucker. I'm not looking for a break. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
looking to
yeah,
get.
yeah.
I look at things as they come, and again, I'm blessed to be in the situation that I'm in. I'm blessed to be, to have the the business and the clientele that I have. So I just kind of keep rolling with it, man.
So when the doors back open, you're
I'm
booked
hustling,
up now?
man. I'm
You're-
hustling.
you're-
Like, well, I mean, as soon as we were able to open, I don't think I ever hit the ground harder. When the first shutdown, the first COVID shutdown, we were shut down from, I think it was March till June.
Mm.
I think that was right,
Something like that.
and that didn't even really impact my finances because as soon as we got back, I just started grinding. That's the benefit of a business like mine. Do you know what I mean? If I want to work harder, a business like mine with the clientele I have. If I want to work harder, I'll put myself out there, and I could do that. Only trouble is I'm getting older. It's getting harder to do, man. I used to hustle hard when I was younger, and be able to kind of just work nonstop, and now it's.
But this brings me to a good point where I've heard somebody told me, I think it was my mother, honestly, but she said
Mothers give good advice.
first you work for the reputation, and then the reputation works for you.
Yeah.
Right? So you build up
For
this
sure.
clientele over years, and these people just ready. As soon as you say I got time, I know I would be ready.
My man, you're absolutely right. You know what I mean? Like there's yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right, so
Because you got to work for it.
to-
I couldn't have done this in the beginning. Do you know?
Right. You've been at it for how long? A couple of decades, right?
So I've been tattooing full time since 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
So that's 20 years.
So, we're going on 21 years, 22 years, I guess, we're going on now. And been in the business, I'd say a few years longer than that. So probably a total of 24 years, 23 years.
That's a professional for sure.
Yeah, I've been at it,
What about some other work? Do you paint? Do you sell?
I do paint a little bit. I don't really sell any of it. During one of those shutdowns, I did a couple of paintings and made a few prints
Mhm.
that I sold, but not really for much of a profit, just for something to do. Again, man, I'm pretty lucky to stay busy tattooing and
Yeah,
whatnot. And
So you don't step out of the tattooing business at all? Like you don't?
I'll paint pictures of stuff that I like and want.
No, but I mean business-wise, you don't do somebody's wall or ceiling or something like that if somebody pays you.
I suppose I could. I definitely could. I don't necessarily,
You don't,
because
really?
I need to be kind of inspired still. Tattooing is a way for me to be artistic. Like I can do whatever you want as a tattoo, but usually I want to be inspired to do whatever that art is. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, and I've been like that since I was a kid. So if I'm not into it, I'm just not into it. But if I'm into it, I'll knock it out. I will do it. You've never seen somebody. I paint like a lunatic, and I paint fast, and it's messy and whatnot. But if I'm not into it, then it's a job, and I'm just not into it. Like you know what I'm saying.
You gotta feel it. Yeah,
You
yeah.
want to feel it,
I
man. Like
absolutely
there's something
understand.
to it. And again, man, tattooing, painting, art is and anyone who does that or finds that kind of it's a meditation, man. Like I'll start painting and time flies by. You
Oh,
don't
for
think
sure.
of anything. Do you know what I mean? And I'm
For
sure
sure.
people are like that with anything that they
I know music is like that. to
music,
me.
right?
I
Like
can-
I'm not that talented.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
wish
you're
I was.
talented at this. What do you mean?
Yeah,
This
no,
is
but I mean the music thing, right? The music
yeah.
thing is
a different. It's just a different.
I think
talent.
it's
This
amazing,
is,
right? I love
this
it.
is just as cool to me, man. Because this brings me to another question. The is there any style that you like more? I know you're
Tattooing?
Yeah.
I like the gray shade realism stuff. I like like the black and gray kind of stuff. But
Mhm.
man, I like it all, you know, for the most part. You know, I like the fact that people get tattoos. I like the fact, I don't care what you get, really. I mean, you know, with the exception of like hateful stuff, I think that's corny. People do whatever they want, but I think it's corny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as for yeah, man, whatever you want. Like if you want to do portraits, if you want to do freaking cartoons, if you like just patterns, all that stuff is cool. The
So
fact
you're
that
just
people,
pretty versatile. You don't stick to one something. Like
if I had to stick to one thing, I would probably stick to like the black and gray portraits, and I like Polynesian, like tribal. Those two things I could spend the rest of my career doing.
Nice.
I feel like I could, but I like mixing it up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I love, man, let's do a Tasmanian devil. I haven't done a Tasmanian devil in years. I'm going to say, I haven't done a Tasmanian devil it used to be a joke, and now I haven't done one in 15 years.
No, that's one of the reasons I started going to you, because I looked through your portfolio somewhat, and I was just like, this guy does everything, and then the faces were just insane.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I like to mix it up, because there's some guys out there that only do one thing, one style.
That's the reason. That's
which is cool.
That's what I'm saying, because I've been to salons where I showed your work, and I was just like, I want something similar to fit into this. You know what I mean? Because I'm here and I want to get a tattoo while I'm traveling. And the guy's just like, no, that's not something I do.
Right.
I was like, what do you mean? I'm in a tattoo shop.
Well, that's a good thing, because at least that guy's being honest with you, man. Because in so many cases, I see people that will be like, yeah, man, I'll do that, and they can't do
just
that.
butcher it.
Not that I'm like, you know, some great artist. I'm just saying, if you're not into it, you shouldn't tell the clients that you are, because they're taking you on your word. Do you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
there's no benefit to either one of us being involved in something that we don't want to do. If I'm not into the tattoo and I tell you I am, and then I'm charging you, you know, good money for it, I mean, we're both losing on this. You know what I mean? I'm doing something I don't want to do. Yeah, I'm taking your money, but I'm like, it would tarnish that artist's name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To you anyway. And then everyone you meet after that point, you're gonna tell. That guy should just be honest and be like, I don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to do something, man, I will let you know. You know.
Yeah. No, he was honest, and I was just shocked. I thought that a tattoo shop, because I'm so used to coming to you that you're like, yeah, we'll do anything, man. Whatever,
Well,
pull it out.
yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. And also, you're talking about charging for tattoos. How do you price your pieces? Is it the time, or is it the
charge by
complexity?
the piece. You know what I mean? I like to keep it like that. That's kind of how I learned to price tattoos. I don't know, man. It's difficult. I think I struggle. A lot of artists probably struggle with pricing their work, just because it's difficult to price something sometimes that you're so like close to, something that you I don't know, man. This isn't that. It does also, like, the best way to put it is, it doesn't really feel like a job sometimes. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm chilling here. I'm tattooing people like yourself, people that I can vibe with. You're like guys that I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? So we're just shooting shit, and it's like, sorry, can I smoke?
That's all good.
So you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
then to do that, and it's kind of like a chill environment, and we're listening to music, whatever, and then to be like, all right, $300, $400, it's weird, but
you gotta start.
you gotta live. You know
That's
what I'm
what I'm
saying? But I think I price my pieces pretty fairly, man. And in exchange, my clients keep me busy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I hear it all the time. I see people there's artists out there that really gouge clients, and I don't think that's the best way to run a business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to get rich off of one guy? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, if you're putting a good product out there for a good, like, reasonable price, so where both people are content, then you're golden, man, and you're gonna be able to keep this kind of going. If you're just like trying to get them once, bam, and hit them hard, then you're gonna build up a reputation for that, and that's not necessarily the best thing for longevity. You know?
Yeah,
In
for
any
sure.
business, I would think. You know what I mean?
For sure. Well, bro, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for
Man,
all of
you're
this.
very welcome.
This has been a great time. Oh, actually, before I bounce,
Sure.
give me your plugs. Where can people find you? Where can people could see your work? Maybe book an appointment, whatever it is.
Instagram, Mr. Gary O. That's pretty much it, man. You know, like, I'm not on
Mr.
any...
Gary or Instagram. Make sure you hit that up. And thanks for having me, brother.